Picture a land where jaguars prowl beneath emerald canopies, where Caribbean rhythms pulse through coastal towns, and where an oil boom is rewriting the fate of a once-overlooked nation. Guyana, South America's hidden treasure, is a vibrant collision of cultures, jungles, and ambition, a place where the Essequibo River carves through untouched wilderness, and a multi-ethnic people weave a story of resilience against colonial scars and modern challenges. From the misty Kayatura Falls to the bustling markets of Georgetown, Guyana is a nation on the cusp of transformation, its heart beating with history, hope, and untamed spirit. Let's dive into its landscapes, people, culture, and dreams in a journey that unveils a country ready to roar. Guyana's geography is a testament to nature's grandeur. Covering 214,969 square kilometers, it's a compact giant, bordered by Venezuela, Brazil, Suriname, and the Atlantic Ocean's 459-kilometer coastline. The country is 80% tropical rainforest, part of the Guyana Shield, one of Earth's oldest geological formations, teeming with 8,000 plant species and 1,000 animal species, including jaguars, giant anteaters, and black caimans. The Essequibo, Guyana's longest river at 1,010 kilometers, winds through jungles and savannas, feeding fertile coastal plains where 90% of the population lives on just 10% of the land. The interior, or hinterland, is a rugged expanse of mountains like the Pacaraimas and waterfalls like Kayatur, the world's largest single-drop fall at 226 meters, 5 times Niagara's height. The coastal plain, built on Dutch-engineered polders, battles flooding, with sea levels rising 6 millimeters yearly. Guyana's climate is tropical, averaging 27 degrees Celsius, with 2 rainy seasons, May to June and December to January, that can swamp Georgetown. The Rupununi savanna in the south, with its wetlands and cattle ranches, contrasts the dense Amazonian forests, making Guyana a biodiversity hotspot, hosting 1,168 vertebrate species and 400,000 insect varieties. This landscape has shaped Guyana's story for millennia. Humans arrived 10,000 years ago with indigenous groups like the Arawak, Carib, and Wapishana thriving as hunters, fishers, and farmers. By 1498, when Christopher Columbus sighted the coast, an estimated 50,000 indigenous people lived here. Dutch colonization began in 1616, establishing sugar plantations and importing African slaves. The British took control in 1814, renaming the colony British Guiana. Slavery's abolition in 1838 led to indentured laborers from India, China, and Portugal, shaping Guyana's ethnic mosaic. Independence in 1966, under Forbes Burnham, marked a turbulent start, with socialist policies nationalizing industries and ethnic tensions flaring between Indo-Guyanese and Afro-Guyanese. The 1970s saw economic decline, with GDP shrinking 3% annually, and mass emigration. 1.4% of the population left yearly by 1998. The 2015 oil discovery, with 11.2 billion barrels of reserves, transformed Guyana, propelling GDP growth to 43% in 2020 and 19.9% in 2021, the world's fastest. Yet, the 2020 election, marred by fraud allegations and the Essequibo dispute with Venezuela, reignited in 2023, highlight ongoing political and territorial tensions. Guyana's 826,353 people, according to the 2023 estimate, are a vibrant blend. The 2012 census shows 39.8% Indo-Guyanese, 29.3% Afro-Guyanese, 19.9% mixed, 10.5% Amerindian, including 9 groups like the Arawak and Wai-Wai, and 0.5% Chinese and white. English, the official language, makes Guyana South America's only English-speaking nation, with Creole widely spoken. Hinduism at 24.8%, Christianity at 34.8%, and Islam at 7.2% shape a diverse spiritual landscape. Georgetown, the capital, houses 200,000. Its wooden colonial buildings and Stabroek Market buzzing with vendors selling roti and pepper pot. Linden and New Amsterdam, smaller hubs, reflect mining and agricultural roots. Family is central, with extended clans gathering for festivals like Diwali and Mashramani, Guyana's carnival. Cricket is king. Shivnarine Chanderpaul is a national hero, with matches drawing thousands. Education has progressed, with 91% nursery and 103% primary enrollment by 2022, but rural schools lag, and literacy is 88%. Guyanese warmth shines, with strangers offered a glass of mabi or a seat at a family cookout. Culture is, honestly, Guyana's soul. Music here blends Caribbean calypso, Indian chutney, and Afro-Guyanese KWE, which is this lively pre-wedding dance ritual. Mashramani, held on February 23rd, just explodes with costumes, steel drums, and soca, drawing something like 30,000 revelers. Literature, ranging from Wilson Harris's surreal novels to Jan Caroux's stories of resistance, really reflects Guyana's layered identity. Visual arts thrive too, with Philip Moore's 1763 monument honoring a slave revolt. Food is, well, a fusion feast pepper pot, a Carib dish of cassareep steeped meat, simmers for days. Roti with curry, an Indo-Guyanese staple, spices up tables and bake and saltfish, an Afro-Guyanese breakfast, pairs fried dough with cod. Rum, from Demerara distilleries, ranks Guyana 14th globally in exports, with 1.2 million tons of sugarcane fueling production. Markets brim with cassava bread and plantain chips, while bush tea, brewed from forest herbs, soothes ailments. Traditional healers, or obeah practitioners, blend African and indigenous rituals, though Christianity often overshadows them. Economically, Guyana is, well, kind of a rocket. Its $20.8 billion GDP in 2023 reflects oil-driven growth, with per capita GDP soaring to $20,765, up from $6,000 back in 2015. Oil, which started production in 2019 at 278,000 barrels daily, by 2022, now accounts for 88% of exports. Non-oil exports, sugar, rice, gold, bauxite, shrimp, and timber, make up 90% of the rest, with 964,000 tons of rice and 136,000 tons of coconut produced in 2018. Mining, especially gold at 600,000 ounces annually, and bauxite at 1.7 million tons, really bolster GDP, though foreign firms dominate the large-scale operations. Poverty fell from 60.9% in 2006 to 48.4% in 2019, but hinterland communities, especially Amerindian, still face 74% poverty rates. The Guyanese dollar, at 209 to the US dollar, is stable. But inflation hit 6.1% in 2023. Unemployment, estimated at 14%, and underemployment at 30%, drive emigration, with 1.2% of the population leaving each year. Oil wealth fuels infrastructure like the $190 million Demerara River Bridge, but corruption allegations like the $35 million ID system definitely raise concerns. Politically, Guyana is a parliamentary democracy, but with a few cracks. The 1980 Constitution, which is under revision, governs a multi-ethnic state, but honestly, ethnic politics still dominate. The People's Progressive Party/Civic, or PPPC, led by President Irfan Ali since 2020, tends to favor Indo-Guyanese, while the People's National Congress, or PNC, aligns with Afro-Guyanese. The 2020 election, won by PPPC after a 5-month recount, exposed fraud attempts by GCOM officials, though international observers did deem it free. Freedom House scores Guyana 74 out of 100, citing a robust civil society but also noting press harassment. 6 journalists faced attacks in 2023, and police violence, like the 2022 killing of Quindon Bacchus. The Essequibo dispute, covering 2/3 of Guyana's territory, escalated in 2023 when Venezuela's referendum backed annexation, prompting US and UK support for Guyana. Corruption persists, with Transparency International's 2023 score at 40 out of 100, and oil wealth just heightens the risks. Tourism is, honestly, Guyana's rising star. Kayatur Falls draws 6,000 visitors yearly, its remote majesty accessible only by small planes. The Rupununi's Kanuku Mountains and Iwakrama Rainforest offer eco-lodges and even jaguar sightings, with 200,000 tourists in 2023. Georgetown's colonial charm, like St. George's Cathedral, which is the world's tallest wooden building, and Linden's bauxite history really captivate. The coast's shell beach protects nesting sea turtles, while the interior's Amerindian villages, like Surama, offer true cultural immersion. Risks do include urban crime. Homicides rose 30% to 19.5 per 100,000 from 2022 to 2023, and malaria, with 1,200 cases in 2023. Yet locals' hospitality, like sharing a bowl of souse or a calypso tune, makes visits unforgettable. Ex-posts praise Guyana's rainforests and oil boom, but also warn of Georgetown's pickpockets and Venezuela's threats. Guyana's challenges are stark. Ethnic tensions rooted in colonial divide and rule fuel distrust, with 2,103 protests killing dozens. Hinterland poverty, with 54% extreme poverty among Amerindians, contrasts coastal wealth. Health lags. Infant mortality is 23.2 per 1,000, above Latin America's 14, and life expectancy is 65.99 years. Climate change threatens. Coastal flooding risks 90% of the population, and deforestation, though low at 0.5% yearly, endangers biodiversity. The 2023 Mahdia dormitory fire, killing 20 indigenous children, exposed infrastructure gaps. Yet Guyana shines with resilience. Amerindian women weave hammocks for export, earning $2 million yearly. Conservation efforts protect 8.7% of land, and oil funds schools and hospitals. X celebrates Guyana's Dubai of the Caribbean vibe but laments crime and ethnic divides. Guyana is a paradox. Jungle and oil, harmony and tension, past and future. From Kayatour's thundering mist to Georgetown's vibrant streets, it's a nation that invites you to taste its pepper pot, dance its KWE, and dream its dreams. This is Guyana, where every river tells a story, every struggle sparks hope, and every moment hums with life.